This is Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano, and you are listening to the Bob Culture Podcast.
Nothing between the lines of the page or advertised. Forgiveness is for angels with this angel's spell and a line that said no second chance or redemption can be found. Take care of the devil and the devil is running you down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into a very kingly edition of the BCP, brought to you by our good friend Shameless Promo at Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore, located in Englishtown, New Jersey, the Englishtown Flea Market. That's the blue building. They're there Saturdays and Sundays from 8 to 3, one of our favorite stores. We got X-Men, we got G.I. Joes, we got wrestling, we got Turtles, we got Ghostbusters. The list goes on and on. Title belts, DVDs, micro brawlers, so many good things. Our favorite store. We love you, Dan and Heather. Thank you for supporting the show. Guys, check them out in Englishtown, New Jersey, or online on eBay. They have some stellar action figures, so much great stuff. Literally our favorite store. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring the show. And now that we have paid the bills, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the show. You know him as the leader of the division. We'll talk about that in a little bit. One of the best managers, I should say, on the independent scene, and by now a first ballot BCP Hall of Famer, our good friend, Mr. Benjamin King. Mr. King, good to see you again, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good, Rob. It's been a little while. Haven't really been so talkative over the last several months, so it's nice to finally be back on the show, finally be talking to you, and yeah, man, it's been a journey.
It has, man. And we'll definitely, I'll pick your brain about a lot of things. I'm very interested. You know, I'm usually very, very prepared going into these things. I have a few notes and a few questions I'd like to ask you, but honestly, man, like you said, kind of laying low. I think I heard some things, you know, maybe with your health, and I don't want to be invasive whatsoever, man. First and foremost, are you good? Are you healthy? Are you okay?
I'm doing a lot better. Truth be told, back in August, I found out that not this past, like coming up August, obviously, but like back last year, I found out that I had a hernia in my umbilical area.
Oh, okay.
And along with that, I had a lot of health issues, such as I found out that I was pre-diabetic. I found out that I was in range of a heart attack, and depression was a huge thing. I had a lot of stuff going on in my personal life. That detail I can kind of keep out right now, but it was affecting me, and to the point where I couldn't perform. I couldn't do what I love, both in wrestling and in life. And it was in October, I sat down with Dr. Carl Martin. I talked to him, Danny Cage, and Missy Sampson. And we came to the decision that I was going to step away. I needed to fix me before I could do anything for this business, do anything for what I love. I needed to love myself again. So a lot of health issues needed to get resolved.
I'm glad you're okay, man. And like I always say, real life first for sure, man. And that's, I'm glad to hear you're okay, man. It's cool to hear that, like you talk to people you confide in, a lot of those Monster Factory folk. And it's so good to hear, man. Cause like, I try not to be invasive, man. I think I sent you some well wishes. I remember like, seeing Mimi and Travis here and there, and like being like, hey, like, you know, where is he or how is he? And I think I'd heard some health things and I left it at that. I'm like, oh, I'll give him my best, kind of a thing, man. And over that time, you know, you step away. It sounds like you're handling business. You look great, man. Things have changed as they do in this business, man. I think Rico had moved away. Obviously, we love to see it. Obviously, we see Mimi now on NXT all the time, man. Which we love to see, man. She certainly deserves it, man. And this group, the division, not to say they are no longer, but we have grown, we have graduated. I mean, what is the status of the division? What is the status of Mr. King right now?
That's that's a loaded question, man. To be fairly honest, a lot has been changing. As you're already aware, Rico de la Vega was always a little distant from the home base, whereas the Monster Factory is located. But he moved down to Florida as of a few months ago. We also have Travis and Mimi also living down in Florida. Mimi at the Performance Center. Travis is going to be with her, man. Like, opportunities there all over Florida, and he gets to be with his girl. So, like, shout out to them, live their best life. If we come back, we got O'Shea Edwards, who was a member of the division at a time.
Yep.
He's doing his thing right now. We got Deshaun Pratt doing his thing right now. And then we get to the home base at the factory where we still have Jafar and Hyena Hex.
Hex, yeah.
And let's be real, man. When I first started, that was with the Prowl. Hyena Hex, Tyga Watson, and Jafar were my main people. They were the guys I started with. But now looking from 4 years ago, looking to today, these guys don't need me. Like, don't get me wrong, we're still family. We're always going to be family. We're brothers in arms no matter what. But like, they can handle their own. And that was the whole purpose of the division. It wasn't anything more than creating change. And it was change for these stars, these upcomers, these guys who have potential above so many others because they have the work ethic to be it. So for me, it was always stated that the division was not a team. It wasn't a faction. It was a movement. And the movement was about bringing change to this industry. Now, I've been gone for about 10 months now, and you see guys like Jafar holding the middleweight division over at the Monster Factory, and he's gone on to over the border to Canada and debuted over in Canada. He's making waves for himself, and that's what I wanted. Hyena Hex has always been that charismatic guy, so he's making waves of his own, evolving his character. And it sucked because, like, I always looked at myself like the father of these guys. Like, I always wanted to be able to provide and get them what they need and always guide them with any kind of advice I can give them. And being away for 10 months, it was like watching your kids go and succeed as you sit at home and watch them grow. And it's like, as you know, Rob, I have a 10-year-old son, and seeing him grow up, it's like, it's bittersweet because you see what they're capable of and what they're evolving into, but you still remember when they started, where they began. And when you no longer have like you're always a part of their path, but you're no longer like by their side, they can handle their own. It's a whole nother evolving situation emotionally. And to go back to what you stated when it came to the situation of the division, is divided, man. That's the best way to put it. I don't know what's going to happen next. The division could reform into a new group, new members. It could dissolve unless we ever get the chance to come back together again. But in the air right now, the division is what it's always been, a continuous movement. And if anybody wants to jump on that train, I'm always here to drive it forward.
Interesting. And think of it this way, you know, just hearing what you said, like you put it perfectly. It's bittersweet, man, because we love to see everyone succeed. Goodbye. You know, we don't always say goodbye. We say see you later, you know, but it's tricky, man, you know, with everyone moving away and you know, you love to see people succeed, but at the same time, you know, they're not close to home anymore. You know, you keep in touch, but you don't see everyone as much. And I get that. At the same time, you can look at it this way, Mr. King. Maybe everything Mr. King touches turns to gold. O'Shea, Mimi, now Sloan Jacobs, like that's got to be cool, man. Like honestly, like what were your immediate thoughts when you're seeing all these people get these opportunities for national outlets?
It's funny, Rob. It's like one of those situations where you always knew that it was going to happen. You always knew. And for me, there is so much potential out there, but I love working with people that respect this business, that want to make a difference in this business, both for themselves and for the people that they work alongside. I can tell you right now, when I first started at the Monster Factory, me didn't really talk that much. I was kind of off of doing my own thing, trying to figure out my personality. But then it was just like over time, I started talking with Royal Money at the time. And then I started hanging with him and Travis Jacobs when the money was inevitable. And then Mimi joined along with that. And it became kind of like a small little family. And then over the years, it just became a family. And
yeah, it really did.
It's just seeing her grow from the time that I started to where she is now. I don't want to take Travis Jacobs' special line, but it was inevitable, man. She was going to be a star, regardless whose contract she was putting ink to. She's going to make a name for herself because that's just who she is as a person. And when it comes to making a name for themselves, O'Shea Edwards is always going to be the top of my list, man. 100%. I still remember the very first time that I worked with him. It was at Titan Championship Wrestling. And it was just, the man knows how to handle business, even in chaotic times. During the match, before we went out to do our promo, one of the guys got injured, broke his arm. O'Shea, instead of, trying to figure out where the promoter was and what was going on, he put his hand on my shoulder, goes, let's go out there, let's cut the best damn promo that we've ever fucking done, and let's get that attention to us. Let's get it off of them, let them go handle their business. We're going to keep this going. And that's what we did. And it was like, he taught me a massive lesson that day that I've held on to since. And seeing him from Ring of Honor, doing his stuff on the indies, it's to this day, I'm still wondering why Tony Khan has not sent him that contract yet. He's the biggest man that the indies is going to need right now, but he's much bigger when it comes to going to be a star.
Yeah.
So I'm going to constantly keep putting it out there. I'll share everything that he ever puts out, letting people know that the big bad kaiju is somebody that needs to be signed.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I love what you just said. Like, every time I see him, he's always very nice. It's always a pleasure working with him. But once he gets in the ring, man, all business, man, a force to be reckoned with. Like you said, like Mimi, you knew that her life was wrestling, and that's what you need to do. We've had several people who've been in this business for a very long time come on and say, like, hey, if you want it, you have to sacrifice. And literally, I know it's a cliche, but you literally have to sacrifice so much and live, eat, sleep, breathe wrestling. And she did just that. And so early in her career succeeding. And I remember one of the first times I was doing commentary at Goddesses, it was one of my first opportunities. She kind of came up on like behalf of the locker room, and just kind of wished me good luck and took the time to kind of welcome me on like behalf of, I was like, this is like beyond her years, man. And that meant a lot, man. And you guys as the division have always been very welcoming to me. And I always like taking pictures with you guys, because like you said, it was like a family. And I always felt very accepted by you guys because, from what I hear, like wrestling isn't always very welcoming. And for me, my experience has been very welcoming, and you guys have been a big part of that, man. So I appreciate you. It's so good to talk to you and to see how everyone has evolved and grown. But going back to reporter mode here, I got to ask you this, man. Are you scouting? Are you looking at some talent, say like, hey, she might be great for the division. He might be great for the division. This is a good tag team for the division. Are we rebuilding? Or maybe, hey, I got to get a new powerhouse. Like, are you scouting? Are you keeping your eyes on? I feel like I already know the answer.
Yeah, always am. There's so many names. Like I said, there's so much potential in this business. But the thing is, like, I'm not out there looking for the guy that knows how to do a 450 off the top rope. I'm not looking for the guy that knows how to bench 500 pounds in the ring. I'm not looking for those guys who look like cookie cutter sheets, man. I'm looking for something special. I'm looking for something different, something that not everybody can produce. And that is uniqueness. Yeah. Mimi, Travis, they all had uniqueness. Royal Money, uniqueness. Shaheem Ali, uniqueness. O'Shea Edwards, uniqueness. Like, I can keep going on the list of the people that I've worked alongside, but it's that really brought my attention. And when it comes to people nowadays, it's frustrating, to be honest, Rob, because like I look at a lot of people and I see the same thing. It doesn't matter what match they're on. They're the first match or the fifth match or the 13th match or the main event. I see the same person. Right. I don't see anything different from the last guy. I see a guy who will trash a town and get the heat and he'll do it again. Like there's I've seen that before. I've seen that for my entire time being a fan of professional wrestling. It was when like a guy like The Miz showed up and his gimmick was done before, but he made his own out of it. You have a guy like Roman Reigns who changed who he was and made himself something unique. And like, that's what I'm looking for on this scene, on the indies, is somebody who wants to be a standout. That's the only, and that's what really pushes change in the business, is people that can stand out and bring attention to what we're trying to do as the division. It's We're trying to bring change to the industry. We're trying to help this industry evolve and grow and become better. And that's what I'm looking for. And I see a lot of potential, man. If I'm looking at the factory right now, the top 3 names that come to my mind.
I'm getting names. All right. I wasn't sure if you're going to give me any names.
I'll give names at the factory right now. The top 3 names that come to mind that I have not worked with, but would love to. Marvelous, 100%. You got Bobby Buffet, the heavyweight champ. Me and him are brothers, man. No matter what, we're always going to be brothers. And if I can, I know he's doing his own thing, man, but Goldie, the dude, like, he is a star of his own. Now, mind you, all 3 members of the Golden Era, like, those guys are formidable. But, man, like, you can see the love for this business in his eyes. You can see the love for this business in Bobby Buffet's eyes. You can see the love for this business in Marvelous's eyes. And, like, don't get me wrong, there's other names out there. Like, there's Daniel Alexander. There's Sean Venor and Brett Waters. There's LSG, for all we know, could be a thing. Gabby Ortiz, another name I'm dropping. And, like, these are names. And then there's guys coming out of world renown. Brian Morris is one guy who I have shook the hand of every time I show up. Nick Batee, shaking the hand of every time. Christian Rocco, Chris Desmond. Like, these are guys that I have constantly seen grow and evolve from just the time they started during a pandemic to now. They have evolved, and it's exciting to witness. And, like, that's just from the factory, Rob.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people that come in and out of Titan that I have seen that I have really enjoyed, but you might know somebody particular that I would like to work with, because she has become family to me more than anybody else in this industry for a very long time. And if you want to name drop her, go right ahead, Rob, because I'm sure nobody is closer than you to her in this industry.
I might know who you're talking about. We got a hit list back here. I'll leave it at that. It's a very vicious hit list. We'll leave it at that, man. I see it though, man. I see, you know, I got some ideas going in my head right now. Some things to pitch for sure, but that's really cool, man. And I appreciate you, all joking aside, I appreciate you saying that, man, because you do have an eye for talent. I love the names that you listed. Marvelous, I almost feel, is an unofficial member of the division for sure, man. I think he's the next guy up, man. And that's so cool. And thank you for giving me names. I wasn't sure you were going to give me any names, man. And a lot of great things coming out of the Monster Factory. But I do want to ask you guys this. I wanted to be there so badly, but what you guys did at the 2300 arena was really special, because I don't know Danny personally. I've shook his hand a couple times and just said, like, hey, you should be very proud of what you did, and all these people. I don't have a personal relationship with him, but I know all y'all do. And the fact that he put something together for you guys, or Missy, or whoever the team was, something, it felt so big. I wasn't there because I had to work, but I watched as soon as I got home, and it really had a special pay-per-view, like, big event, Titantron, lights, rumble, surprises, tributes. Like, it was a cool night. First of all, everyone looked amazing. A lot of wrestling fashion. I got a lot of heat for not nominating literally everybody at the Monster Factory, but that's another story.
I just want to put this out there, Rob.
Here it is.
Winner of the Fashion of the Week, Gabby Ortiz. Again, for anybody that's seen the photo, who has witnessed it, she made it herself.
Yes.
And that's a lot of effort put into something, and it turned out phenomenal. So just wanted to make a shout out to that situation, because let's be real, man. A lot of people customizing their own gear, but to be able to make your own, debut it at the 2300 arena, and then win Fashion of the Week. Come on. That right there, there's a lot of achievements in just one small package.
I appreciate that, man. I always get a lot of heat from, like, oh boy, here it comes. I'm just trying to put people over. But anyway, that was such a cool event, man. I remember watching that, man, and I saw your picture on like the ramp and all that stuff, man. What was that night like? What was that vibe like? I've still never been to the 2300 arena. That had to be special.
It was, man, I can't even tell you the words. It didn't hit me until the show started. Getting to the venue, it felt like any other venue. It felt just like, you know, you got there, you took it in, you saw the ring, and but like, you know, everybody, like you know, all the wrestlers. You guys have talked at different venues, different buildings, different promotions. It's just like gathering together for a family at a venue for some event. But when you felt the crowd, when you felt the locker room, when the show was about to begin, that's when it really hit me how much this business has grown for all those guys that performed that night. And it was exhilarating. I still remember we were getting everything together, and I had surgery just a few days going after the show.
Wow.
And Danny comes up to me and he was like, "Hey, do you want to be on the show?"
That's awesome.
I haven't been seen for, I think, 8 months at that time. And man, when I tell you, I was like a kid, man. I was like, "Yeah, that sounds great." I'm thinking of different ideas. And then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I have surgery in a couple of days. Let's not risk it. As much of this is an opportunity, as much as special this would be, I need to focus on my health. I need to come back right. There's other times the 2300 arena will pop up. But if I don't take care of myself, it wasn't going to be able to be something I could experience again. But my son got to witness it firsthand. He got to see it. I got to see all these guys who have busted their asses to get to that point do what they do best, and that is perform their hearts out. And they laid everything out there, man. And when I tell you, it did not matter if I was there, out there in the ring, cutting a promo, or being by the side of somebody, or just sitting in the back. It was just being there with my family, with my son. That is what made it special for me. And the thing is like, I look at Danny Cage, I look at Missy Sampson as my mom and dad of professional wrestling. That's who they are to me. And don't get me wrong, just like a child to their parents, I'll butt heads and I won't always see the same views as they do, but I respect them and I respect what they do and what they're trying to do. And it's the reason why it's like, you know, when a kid knows the mom and dad are right, you're going to pout, you're going to be mad, you're going to be frustrated, but you're going to do what they tell you to do. And at the end of the night, you're going to realize, oh shit, they were right.
Yeah.
And seeing how much they were just in it, seeing Danny come out during the 3-2-1 Rumble, seeing Missy come out alongside Xander Alexander, and dude, it was just seeing them perform and being out there and doing what they do. It's nothing like it, man. And like I was told that night, my time will come when the time will come. And for the first time in 4 years, Rob, I can simply say that I nodded and said, I know.
Wow. Yeah, I think something, so even the fact that we're talking here today, I think something's, and knowing you, man, this isn't my first rodeo with you, man. I know you got some stuff up the sleeves. Let's be real, man. And that's amazing, man. The 2300 show, guys, check that out. That's on YouTube right now, the Monster Factory. Guys, if you want to get into training, you know, Monster Factory, so many great products who've come out of there. Damian Priest, Riddle, Sheamus, Mimi, Sloan Jacobs, so many great products have come out of there and really succeeded, and a lot of great products in there right now. And that includes you, Mr. King, right now. And we always like to ask the fun hypotheticals here. So I was thinking about this one for you, man. I don't know if you're keeping up with a lot of the current products right now. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan, but I really do think even right now, you're so well spoken. I think you are one of the best, if not the best managers on the independent scene. And I'll tell you this, man, just looking at a lot of the managers on TV and things like that, I feel like you would fit right in. Is there anyone that you have your eye on that isn't managed right now, that is on national TV every week that you're like, I feel like they could benefit from having Mr. King as a manager? Is there someone that, because let's be real, these things it's so cool to see people succeed, man. Stranger things have happened, man. You know, I always say we always have our independent friends on the wall over here, and every time they get signed, we put them over here, man. And it keeps happening, man. It's so cool to see people succeed. It could happen, man. We could see you in NXT next year managing somebody, man. Like anyone you got your eyes on?
Well, let's be real here, man. I know it's going back a little close to home, but I was signing to WWE to NXT. I'll manage Sloan Jacobs just again, man. We'll bring this right back around.
That's not even fair, man. Oh,
but if I can't work with somebody who I have a history with, and I have to go, man, I'll have to say Braun Breaker.
Oh, dude. I feel like I'm not just saying this. Like, that's a great answer. I feel like he could use a really good man. And I mean, no disrespect when I say that. I feel like that would be perfect. That is a really good answer.
The man has everything that his family has always shown. He has charisma. He has the strength, the agility. He has the fortitude. He has a full package, man. Like, he is 100% what I would love to represent. And the amount of respect he has in the locker room because of the respect he delivers in the locker room just shows me what kind of human being he is. And like, a lot of people don't realize this, like, professional wrestling, it's a show, but it's also reality. And for me, it is just as real out in the ring as it is in the backstage. So if you are one of the best in the ring, you could do everything in that ring, but you're an asshole in the back, I want nothing to do with you, man.
Yeah.
I want nothing to do with you. But if you are somebody who is pretty good in the ring, has a little bit of talent, still trying to find their way, but you are a decent human being, man, I'll sign a 4-year contract to manage your ass because I know who you are as a person. And a person shows the reality of who you are. Professional wrestling, as I'm always said, is not going anywhere, meaning 4 years from now, we can evolve your character, but you can't evolve a person. A person's a person. Like, the person is always going to be stuck in their ways, especially at this point in the game. So, like, I know who I am, and that's another funny thing, man. Like, a lot of people question me, what got me into this business? Was it money? And tell everybody it was my kid. Because
I remember
it's he got me into this business, but like, there's always an ultimate goal for everybody. It's like, do you want to be famous? Do you want to get that big contract? And people always look at me in the funniest eye when I say, I don't give a damn about the money. I never have. Don't get me wrong. If NXT or AEW come around with that 60K saying, like, just put your little initials here, you're going to find my initials there. But like, I'm not hunting for the coin, man. Like, I'm in this business because I love professional wrestling. I'm in this business because my son wanted to see me get involved. And I stayed in this business because I found a passion out of this business and a love of something that I never, like, in my entire life, man, I have never been out on injury for almost 10 months. And the only thing I could think about after 2 weeks on that 10 months was when I was coming back, how I was coming back, what changes I was going to make, what kind of image I'm looking for. Like, almost 10 months of planning. I never stopped. I showed up when I could show up. I listened and I talked and I gave advice and I did what I did for 10 months. And it was nice seeing the industry grow. But Rob, when I tell you, man, Benjamin King is my fucking problem now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm coming back for.
Yeah.
And dude, when people saw me, I was at 60%.
Yeah.
When people saw me before I left. What the fuck are they going to do when I'm at 100?
Yeah, you see me, and I'm smiling over here because you said, the 10 months and then 2 weeks in, and I'm like, I know this guy. I know there's literally like a notepad or something somewhere where you're jotting down ideas. I already know it's already all together. I know something's gonna happen. You're gonna come in and like all of a sudden be like a powerhouse wrestler taking everyone out, or it's going to be something like I don't expect. You're going to be doing something. You're going to be popping up somewhere where I don't expect you to pop up. There's things that work. No, you're going to be rolling in with somebody. That's what it is. You're going to be rolling in with somebody that we don't expect, man. Very, very interesting.
If I could make a suggestion,
please.
It's not a confirmed thing, but I would like you to reach out to a man named Jai Cole, Jaikole. Reach out to that man.
Got it.
I can tell you right now, he's making big waves himself, and you never know, Rob. Just another name to think about.
I think I know exactly who you're talking about right now, because he's literally making waves right now. And I appreciate that. Mr. King, I know you have a lot in the works. You have a lot of stuff brewing. I'm very excited to see how some of these tricks up your sleeve play out. I would personally love to see you pop up at Titan, pop up Invictus, all these great places here in the Northeast. Again, man, is that something? Again, I know I don't know what goes on. There's it's above my pay grade. There's a lot of politics involved. There's personal relationships involved. Can you give us anything like where you would hope to pop up or where we might expect to see you? Can you give us anything?
Any promoters that are listening right now, not a hard man to find. Send me a message. We'll talk business. If you have a guy you want to get over as a face or a heel, let me know. I will make that work. If you have a way that you want to kind of put a story together, let me know. I'll make it work. That's what I do in this business, is that I am given clay and I make statues. It's what I do. It's what I love to do. It is my passion. I put videos together. I put packages together. I edit everything. And when I work with an individual, I don't charge that individual because my goal is to make them the next big thing for your brand. So it doesn't matter if it's Monster Factory. It doesn't matter if it's Titan, Invictus, Beyond. It doesn't matter what company it is. If you're a promoter and you want somebody who's going to work for you and make your guys something big, again, I'm not a hard man to reach out to. I have every social media platform. I'm sure at the end of this, I'm going to say all those different social media platforms.
Yeah.
So please finish listening to this promo, because I'm going to tell you at the end of it, I'm going to bring change to your industry, because that's what Benjamin King does.
As we have literally seen and we see on our TV screens every week, a lot of people that are very close to Mr. King and have worked under Mr. King, and the fact that you put in the effort, I think you said the magic phrase right there, free promo videos. Guys, if you're listening, I will repeat that one again. Get to know this guy, get to work with this guy if you're worthy. First of all, if you're worthy enough. Mr. King, just a question I wanted to ask. You are so well spoken, man. Did you take any sort of class on literature or public speaking? You are so well spoken.
I'm going to give 100% credit to my mother, who taught me to respect, to be respectful to myself, respectful to the people I talk to. And it's one of the situations where anybody can mumble on, but it's like, you're taking time out of your day to interview me, Rob.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm just happy to see your face, bro.
Let me explain. It's, you're taking time out of your day to interview me. It's not like you're giving me the time to get my story out, to talk.
Hell yeah.
So I'm going to give you the same respect, Rob, by not trying to take over the show, to just do my own thing. No, because it's one of those things where no matter what you do in this business, it's teamwork. You got to be able to work with the person. It doesn't matter if you're a tag team. It doesn't matter if you're opponents. It doesn't matter if you're an interviewer and an interviewee. At the end of the day, you work together to make magic. So like, that's something my mom always taught me. And I'm also going to give a lot of credit to Mrs. Sampson and Danny Cage. They taught me how to talk. When I first showed up in this industry, man, I still remember the very first promo that I cut in front of Danny Cage. It was awful, man.
Yeah.
And it was, and like Danny even told me, he's like, what I said wasn't bad. The problem is that I try to fit 5 minutes worth of a promo into 30 seconds.
Gotcha.
And it was there that from that day, dude, when I tell you, I never cut a bad promo since. I never allowed myself to cut a bad promo since. Now, some people might have a difference of opinion, but I always cut a decent. That's a lie. There was one other promo. I just don't talk about it. It was with Ricky Reyes. It was for a Factory Friday. Doesn't count. It was a whole other thing. But like, it was one of those situations for me is that I take the lessons that I'm taught literally by my parents, both literally my mother or my wrestling mom and dad. Like I, at the end of the day, take what they teach me, and respect is just something that they taught. Doesn't matter which way you put it, they teach respect. And I appreciate that comment and that description of me, Rob. So thank you for that.
Yeah, dude. No, it's awesome. I love talking to you and I appreciate the kind words on your end, man. It's always great. Like I said, you guys have always been great to me, man. And everyone that you work with really benefits from that, man. I truly believe that. And that's why I asked, like, who you targeting right now? Because you do a great job and I'm glad you're healthy. I'm glad we're going to be seeing you back working real soon. I don't know where or what you got up your sleeve, but I'm very excited. And I appreciate you taking the time. But before we get out of here, Mr. King, we are all about that shameless promo. You knew it was coming. Tell everyone where they can follow you. Maybe that contact info. Maybe you're watching this interview and you want to book Mr. King. Maybe you're watching this interview and you want to get some video editing done. Maybe you're watching this interview and you're like, I would like this guy to manage me. How can they contact you?
You can follow me on Facebook under Benjamin King. My face is on there. You'll know who I am. You can find me at Benjamin King MF. That is on Instagram and Twitter. You can be able to email me at BDK. That is Benjamin DK.mfpw@gmail.com. And I'm always open, guys. Like, I will respond. It might take me at most a day, but I will respond to any messages sent to me.
Very, very interesting. And you see me looking around. I was going to pull up that. I got that 8x10. I have stuff in the way right now, but you are hanging on the wall. I see you right now. You're hanging on the wall over here at the BCP compound, man. I appreciate you, man. And I look forward to taking that picture and putting it over on this side of the wall one day, man. And just thank you for always taking the time and just continued success to you, bro. I appreciate you.
And all the same wishes to you there, Rob. I'm a loyalist to your podcast, and I really want to see this thing become national at one point, man. I want people all over the US and overseas to really shine in. I mean, as we could see, me and you were connecting virtually. Who knows, man? Maybe New Japan might have a guy that one day drops in and wants to do that interview with you from Japan. You never know.
Hey, man, I never say never, man. And I appreciate the positive words, man. And thank you again for making the time. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much.
100%. Thank you, Rob.
All right, guys. And thank you, Mr. King. Guys, like we always say here on the BCP, everyone stay safe, stay positive, take care of each other. We out. Peace.